Alright, so at this point you guys are ready to do the eyelashes. The eyelashes are extremely important. Take your time. Remember, I told you guys to use a practice sheet, get an idea for what you're doing and how you're doing them. These sheets that are in the folder for you, these are perfect things to look at. Eyelashes all go in the same direction, except for right about in the middle they start to curve up, and then over here on the left side they start to curve towards that. So you need to train your hand to make the exact same line. So you don't want a lot of paint on your brush. If you get too much paint, just kind of scrape off. Slow. Start way over on the other side. You're going to have to go back and get more paint. It is okay that my eyelash goes off the paper. Even when I'm starting on the next eyelash, I'm still going to overlap. And you want to keep them about evenly spaced. Now, you need to make sure your eyelash and your iris, there's no gap. We put that white crown down, so you want to make sure that you cover up any of that. All I'm doing is repeating the same curve over and over again. Now, I can move fast because I've had years of practice. You guys are going to have to be a lot slower because you guys are still trying to learn how to control your brushes. You'll notice I'm turning my paper as I create my eyelashes. This helps me make the churn with my eyelashes. This is me working smarter, not harder. But you can see it's the exact same curve over and over again. The only thing that's changing is where the curve starts. Alright, so let's address these guys over here. To do that, I'm going to flip my paper and I'm going to start my curve from this end. These guys need to be a little bit shorter. Now what do I do here in between the gap? Well, I just mimic the curve until I get the one that kind of goes straight. Now if you don't like the gap that's in between some of them, you can go in now and you can fill in the gap because you now know the curve. Your hand is just mimicking what's already there. And they don't all have to be the same height. Alright, now the bottom eyelash. This is the most difficult one. Okay? They're not as long, there's not as many, and you'll notice there is a gap between the eye. So, again, I would have practiced. Because I'm right-handed, look at that. If I keep my hand here, I'm going to be in my paint. I have to be smarter. Okay, so I'm going to start my line here. So this is going to be a little more difficult because I'm working backwards, but I have to be smarter than my work. So there's my gap. Okay, so now I'm going to flip my brush, which is going to require me to slow down because I'm working actually backwards in my own skill level. I'm right-handed, so I'm used to everything going a certain direction. So now and I'm trying to move fast so you guys have time to work. But you'll see that they're all It's the exact same curve, muscle memory, same thing a baseball player does, same thing a cheerleader does. Practicing, practicing, practicing. All right, at this point, center of my eye. I'm going to go ahead and paint that black. All right, now, that's too perfect of a black circle. So, taking a dandy toothbrush, handy dandy toothbrush, we're going to use the bristles. I just want the tips, and I'm just going to barely scrape. As I do that, my black iris kind of just looks like, just gives it this really cool effect that bleeds into my eye. And you notice I'm not scraping far away, I'm barely touching, just enough. Perfect. Okay,